cleaving the witches free so they can resume the spell. This desperate combat continues for a few long seconds before the undead scream again, a single scream of anguish, and then suddenly they all stop at once and collapse to the ground lifeless. As you struggle to catch your breath, you survey the battlefield. The Lathians stand there ready, some of them spinning around as though searching for more enemies. Eunuxius, Reginald, and Nerissa stand together like the Lathians they search about. You look towards the other witches. Kriya looks back at you. She is breathing heavily. You're tempted to say, "Nice of you to finally show up," but you don't. Suddenly, standing atop of the corpse of the giant knight, as though she had just appeared, is a tall woman dressed as a queen with a crown you remember Maya wearing. She's wreathed in green. Of course, it's Nerul. Maiden Avis charges Nerul, her blade raised. Many of her remaining paladins join her. Although they are several steps behind, Nerul does not even seem to notice the onrushing priestess. Rather, she's just staring off towards the rising sun as Avis draws near. Nerul fades and then is gone. Avis swings the sword where Nerul had been a moment ago, but merely to cleave air. Her blade no longer glows, nor does yours. Eunuxius, Reginald, Nerissa lean on each other, their bodies sagging from weariness. Several paladins stalk past Avis towards Eunuxius and his companions. Eunuxius raises a hand and the three of them disappear. Suddenly you remember the amulet. Where is it? It will be difficult to find in this mess. Of course, you won't dare to touch it. Indeed, maybe even looking at it would be dangerous. Eunuxius and the rest of their quarry gone. The paladins turn back to Maiden Avis, perhaps looking for further order. Rather than acknowledge the paladins, Avis begins dancing. What the hell? This is unexpected, particularly since her dance is very strange. A lot of jerking of the limbs without any pattern that you can see. She's singing. Have she lost her mind? You share a nervous smile with Kriya, and you all begin walking in closer to listen. Is Nerul really gone? You wonder. The gods never lose. Every child knows this. Yet, with her faith shaken for her lost love, perhaps she did want to die. Maybe that's why she could not hold on to Eunuxius, why she made a last-ditch rageful stand. She simply didn't care anymore. Maybe her spirit is finally exhausted, at least for now. Your thoughts are interrupted as you catch movement on your right, about 50 meters away. Standing beside a nearly crumpled wall stands Azazel, smiling at you. Her wings folded in tight, so she almost looks like a normal, beautiful woman. Well, a woman with small horns around her neck is something familiar. It's an amulet of Aletheia. So that's where it went, you think. More than once, Egra had said Azazel would make a fine champion. Azazel waves and disappears, just as a blue bolt of energy shoots through where she had been taking a large chunk of the ruined wall. So close comes Drala's voice from behind you. Of course, Drala the all-seeing had swatted Azazel too. Too bad, that one is trouble. More trouble now, you murmur to yourself. How is this a happy ending? She is clearly gonna come back to kill us. Happy ending. You found what this author would consider the happiest of endings, although you may not agree. I encourage you to check out the other ones. I have already checked out the other ones. Let me make the decision for you. Let me make the decision whether it is a good ending or not. 4 months later, after the great battle that destroyed most of Ring City, called the Scourge, yeah, this and that, one of the Duke's men, blah blah blah, makeshift wedding, troops of Lord Wellington's army, Bonebrow is in charge. One of the things you did was find Phoebe and take her under your wing. Fortunately, she likes your sense of humor. So the other chick is not here. So was that Azazel? No, that shouldn't be Azazel. What the hell am I talking about? Who was that other girl then? Annabelle. Who was that then? I have no clue. Using a portion of your mermaid treasure, you hired agents to find your sister. However, thanks to words of her deed spreading far and wide, she made the journey to Ring City and found you first. The two of you have been living at the castle in the royal wing, catching up, reminiscing, having a good time. You think Phoebe might like Tamara better than you, but you don't mind. You probably like Tamara better than yourself too. Egra visits you in your dreams rather often. As you guess, she's actually Ohur, which is normally thought of as a man, which it prefers you think of him as she. Indeed, she usually visits you in the guise of Azazel, and less often in the traditional guise of Ohur, a tall, spindly, fox-headed man. Ohur is not angry nor bitter. You dare say she seems to have respect for you, perhaps because you never did end up being her tool. She enjoys trading teases with you and eventually gets around yet again to asking you to be one of her priests, promising that you don't have to wear any sort of costume or learn any tedious prayers. Maybe someday you will accept. You enjoy changing form. That's like an adventure every time. Oh wow, this is really good. Although there is hope in Ring City, there is also sadness. There is the way of things after war, of course. So you're happy to see Eunuxius when he came to take you away. Eunuxius came to take me away? As it turns out, ever since the Scourge, the wizard and his companion, including Hades, had been traversing the infinite stairway in search of adventure. Also, it was to hide, at least for a time, from those who would like to question Eunuxius about his necromancy, among other things that he did during the dark times. Although he and the rest are considered heroes to many, including yourself, you understand that life could not could get uncomfortable for them on the material plane. That's okay. There's infinite worlds to explore. You gather some friends of your own and set off. Now you find wait, you gather some friends. Now you find yourself on the infinite staircase, excited to again be a man of fortune. Well, you're already rich, so maybe now you're just an adventurer, not just any adventurer, because Nukes is insisting that you are to do good in the multiverse, not just fool about. No doubt there will be fine amount of evil smiting involved. Indeed, that's how you managed to convince Maiden Avis to come along, at least for a while, despite her responsibility to the highest Elathian on the material plane. Aside from the adventure of visiting other worlds, it also a means of keeping one step ahead of your enemies. House here has no love for you, and worse this Thog. As your father used to say, it's hard to hit a moving target. How does it go again, you say, taking a step on the stairway and turning back to Maiden Avis? I don't think there's any point in repeating it, says Avis, returning a mischievous smile with a tired one. From the gas of the gods I doth form, you say. That was one line, I'm pretty sure. We don't have to try to recall every line of it, says Avis. It wasn't me saying it. Anyway, it was Thiosa. That was definitely her behind it, you say, laughing. You were begging to be born from the buttock gas of the gods. I don't remember buttocks being mentioned explicitly in any of the rituals, says Kriya, nodding towards you. Kriya joined us? Still sucking up to the powerful, you think? Well, whoever was behind it, they didn't put a lot of effort into the lyrics, says Reginald. You may as well admit it, you say. Your godling was fooled. The prophecy of the contest of gods goes back maybe 1,000 years. Ritual is almost old, says Avis. I don't think it was fake. I think it simply didn't work. Nerul was spent. She gave what was left of herself in that final rage. By the time I got there and did the ritual, there wasn't enough left to draw upon for Thiosa to ascend. Elathian godling ought to know better than to try to draw upon anything of Nerul, says Nuxius. I certainly know better now. Right, you heard it from the wise wizard, you say, pointing at Nuxius while looking expectantly at Avis. It was a bad idea from the start, but it makes it all the more likely to be fake. It was prank, something for the gods to bloody each other's nose with an Ohur stands by and laughs. Ohur, says Avis with a scowl. All the gods hate him, and so he had best laugh while he can. I'd say we all best laugh while we can, says Reginald. You never know where we'll be tomorrow. It was a little ridiculous, says Avis sheepishly. I hope no one else saw it. She looks around at the others. Reginald grins at her. We all saw it, maiden, he says. Oh, right, the dancing and the stupid song. That was the fucking goddesses doing, I see. That was the ritual. That's hilarious. Everyone else was, it was very unusual dance, and you were about the only moving thing moving. Everyone else was dead. Grim humor, Reg, says Norissa, step behind Reginald, slapping the warrior's shoulder. How did you see it, you ask? I saw you three teleport out before the dance really got started. Turned invisible, actually, says Nuxius. We had to watch for a while to be sure. Mother saw you, says Kriya. Lucky for you, she didn't bother to tell anyone at the time. Oh, Mother saw you, for Drala saw it? Vermal watched for a blue door with gold leathering at the top edge of the moldering. You call up the stairway. So Vermal is coming along with it as well? I thought the stairways were like really thin. This is like huge. Fucking hell, dragon can go up. That's what it is, right? That's what it is, right? The wizard nods. The bronze dragon is likely too distracted by prattling on with Phobe, who's riding on a back, to properly do his job of scouting out the stairway. Using his high vantage point, Vermal will only carry Phobe. He likes the girl. He asks a lot of questions. He really enjoys answering them, often at length. How can I miss a blue door, calls Vermal, and then you hear him comments jabbering to Phobe. You smile as you look back over the party clambering up the stairway. Maiden Avis smiles back at you as she takes a step and then turns to survey the party herself. Gone is her armor, massive sword that she used when she was possessed by the Elathian godling, Thiosa. The godling had left. Avis, after the usual, had failed to bring her ascension to full godhood. Now Avis is back to being a priestess wearing robes, comfortable and powerful. Aletheia evidently found Avis to be a fine champion, for the goddess favors Avis with far stronger divine spells than before. Ragnar wears enchanted chainmail that he raided from the Swalax treasure hole. Right, we did the last game. His long sword at his hip. He whistles a tone you don't recognize, probably something popular in Ring City. You doubt the warrior would rather not be anywhere else. Noticing Regnald's long sword makes you absolutely touch the hilt of your own weapon at your hip. The Lathian blade still responds to you as though you were a paladin, despite not having a trickster powers to fool it into thinking you are worthy. You suspect the sword likes you. Why not? The two of you have done some excellent evil smiting together. Katie walks beside Reginald. She no longer wears her white makeup. She does. She says she doesn't have time for things like that. Not with all the adventuring. She says she forgives you for pretending to be an illusion, stealing from her, and most of all, slaying Maya. You don't buy it, although it doesn't stop you from cracking jokes and doing your best to cheer up the witch. She humors your efforts, sometimes genuinely, but what she really enjoys is teaching folks spellcraft. You're not sure what you think of that. Nuxius and Narissa stride arm in arm up the stairs just behind Reginald. Narissa had gained the favor of Aletheia again. It was her old chainmail, not the heavy green glowing plate armor that she wore when you first saw her. This definitely looks lighter. You look over to Nuxius. The wizard, the unfairly good-looking wizard, is now growing out a beard. Suits him, makes him look less like a boy that the teenage girls will swoon over. He still earns his nickname Ghost, though, perhaps thanks to his pale skin. I hope the world we seek has plenty, sunshine aplenty. You call down to Nuxius. The Nerul is truly destroyed. It's time for you to shed your necromancer look. Ghost rolled his eyes at something you suspect he picked up from Hades. You're not sure if it's too early to crack necromancer jokes, but you just can't seem to stop cracking them. Maybe if you can get them to laugh about it. Narissa squeezes Nuxius' arm and kisses his cheek. Priya walks just behind Nuxius, Narissa. She's wearing her absurdly large dress, which is probably what's making her lag behind. The two of you exchange a look before you turn back up the staircase. She might not be as powerful a spellcaster as Nuxius, or nowhere near him. Even after he expelled Nerul, but there is no one you'd rather have in your adventuring party. Well, except for your sister, who scans the stairway ahead. Oh, she came along. She insists on looking for traps, and despite Nuxius' assurances, there are no petty trapwires on the infinite staircase. Yes, there are definitely none. Not even gods can fight in here. She smiles at you now and gives you the thumbs up before continuing on, moving gracefully like she always does. Where you're going and what will you do when you get there? You can't wait to find out. Fucking hell. Now that is what we call a canon ending. I was so mad. Even with those 4 endings with all the girls, well, we did end up with it was really nice. It wasn't like great. This was way better. Holy shit, I did not expect not trusting Ohur would be the best choice. Ohur is not angry at us. He ended up combining with Azazel anyway. He probably swallowed her like he did last time. The second ending was amazing. I was not even going to check this ending out. That would have been a fucking mistake, honestly. And to the guy who said you can't wait to see my reaction, I am very happy. The first series, Wizard's Choice, ended in abruptly, and it was just not very fulfilling to some extent. How many chapters was it? 6 chapters I think there were, and it was not fulfilling as much. This one was way better, holy shit levels of better. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and it's so sad that it's such a long coming series is ending. How long has it been? I'm pretty damn sure I uploaded the first chapter of Wizard's Choice 3 years ago. Hold on a second, let me check. It was in 2018 in November that I first uploaded Wizard's Choice first chapter. So it's 2018, 19, 20, 21, 3 years. 3 years ago I first started on this, and now we're finally ending this. I'm also going to check out Paladin's Choice. I don't think it's finished or not. I'm not sure, but I will check it out just to see what that's like. But holy shit, was this good. I loved Wizard's Choice. That was really fun, and they decided to thoroughly work out every little detail in Rogue's Choice. There were a lot of complaints along the way I had with both Wizard's Choice and Rogue's Choice, and well, I have been very vocal about them, but I personally thoroughly enjoyed this whole experience. I am so glad I got to do this and record this and do it on this channel. Now even some people are watching. That's very nice. It feels nice to have someone watching, every now and then. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. The link in the description to my Twitter, on my Patreon. There's a link in the description to the walkthrough. Thank you. Let me see what the name of this person is. I've been using their fucking thing. It's Lexi. Oh, it's a girl actually, I think. Lexi, and I've obviously leave the link in the description to their walkthrough. Very helpful throughout the entire years that I've been doing this, and I'm going to be using this for Paladin's Choice as well anyway. But very happy to finally end this, and there's still plenty of fucking other reading type stories that I've got plenty of fucking ones downloaded on my phone that I'm going to be doing after I'm done with after I'm done editing this, which is going to be a pain in the ass. It's going to take a fucking hours to edit. But yeah, finally I'm very happy and I am content. I was so mad when 5 days ago when I was last recording that that's the sort of ending we're gonna get. like fucking Anuxius is dead and who knows where he's going, and like our memory is erased and this, that, and the other thing, and this was so awful, and I was just like not very comfortable with it. Now this ending is a little bit too optimistic, honestly, and I don't see it actually happening IRL, but it just works. It's really good ending. I really enjoyed this. I'm very, very happy, and I'm very much content with this ending. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Thank you for sticking by me. I will see you in Paladin's Choice or whatever other reading type of ones I find, or maybe some visual novels or something I will find. Yeah, bye bye.